Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to part 2 of my garden piping tree planting video. It's early afternoon, it's super hot, so I'm coming at you from the shade of the lemon tree, and I'm going to be attempting to deal with these pipes, but I'm not exactly sure what my plan is yet. I have this pipe behind me just kind of running from the water tank over the ground, and then I have this other one coming from the pump going up to the tanks that kind of coils around. It's far too long. So I think in order to get rid of these two tripping hazards, it probably makes sense to start with these pipes. Plus, if I work on burying this pipe, it'll allow me to see where it pops out in the garden and where it makes the most sense to steer the pipe. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me because the garden is still crazy. It's hot, but I'm feeling super motivated, and this is a job I've been meaning to do for well over a year, actually. So I'm really excited to get these pipes buried, this one decoiled and shortened, and then we'll deal with the garden after that because that's going to take a lot more thought and a lot more work. So for now, let's focus on these two pipes and see how far I can get today. Hello again from the polytunnel. Though I was motivated to continue on, push on with the work, dig a trench, unfortunately, my camera battery did not agree. It needed a charge, and so I took a little bit of a rest, and I also potted on a whole bunch of seedlings. So let me show you what I've got going on in here, and then we're going to head down to the terrace below and get started on this pipe work. So here's my army of plants. They're all doing really well. Probably need another drink. It's quite warm in here at the moment. And I'm slowly working through the seed trays, but unfortunately, I don't have any more pots. As you can see, there is a small army of pots down there, loads of stuff here, and I've really scrounged and got some of the flimsy, super crappy pots out and have filled those with stuff as well. I do have more large pots, which I might put some tomatoes in and keep them in there for the growing season. We'll see, but I've been hard at work. It's been very enjoyable taking the seedlings out and putting them in their own little pots, but now it's time to dig. I guess it makes the most sense to start up here and see where the pipe wants to lead me. I do have these pipes as well, and I'd like to eventually get those in the ground too. This one kind of strays over onto the neighbor's land, but I don't really know what I'm doing with this little strip here, so for the moment that's just going to stay neglected and ignored, and instead I'm going to focus on seeing where this pipe wants to take me. So maybe dig this into the ground and match it up with this pipe so that I can get them kind of in the same trench going down towards the lemon tree. I'm not going to go too far into the ground, but I definitely would like to not have to worry about tripping on them all the time. So it'll be a major improvement to get these things in a small hole, and it'll definitely be really good to shorten this very strange situation. I don't know why this came to be, but my goal is to steer this out to here, meeting up with this pipe and sharing a trench that goes all the way back up. I'm not exactly sure where the best spot for this pipe to poke out is. Maybe it's over there, maybe it's somewhere over there, maybe it's where it is. But what I do know is that unfortunately, or fortunately if you're a cat, because apparently these are very poisonous for animals, I will have to murder a few more lilies. Anyway, that's more than enough chatter. Let's dig a trench. And let's start up at the top. So this is dusty and difficult work, and it's getting late, so I'm going to put the camera away, focus on getting this done, and I'll check in again at the end of the day and see how far I've got. I dug a trench, and I'm very happy with this. I'm not going to put the pipes in just yet. I'll make sure everything's kind of hooked up before I do. I have to reassemble the pump. That's kind of up here. Cut this guy to length. That was leaking over there, so I fixed that, I hope. And this one will go down here, connect in there. It'll be 2 pipes running down the trench, and I don't know what's going to happen in there just yet. Something wonderful, I'm sure, but I'll think about that tomorrow. But right now, I'm sweaty, I feel gross, and it feels wonderful. It's been a long time since I worked up a sweat like this, and it feels good. It feels good to be back in the garden and to be getting dirty and sweaty. I do love it. I do love it. I don't know if that's strange. So, I've been working hard. I've got a big day ahead of me tomorrow. I'm really happy to report that my shower is now functional again, so I don't have to wait for our friends to take pity upon me or do a quick bucket splash. So that's good news. So I'm gonna go drink a massive glass of water, have a shower, and relax for the rest of the night in anticipation for another big day of digging and sweating and wonderfulness in the jungle garden over there. So, see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's beautiful out. Today's, I think, the first morning where there hasn't been a slight nip in the air. It's a little chilly, a little teeny tiny bit chilly, but straight into the sleeveless shirt, and it's probably just going to get hotter and hotter from here, which fills me with dread, but it's just how it is here. I just have to get used to it. So this morning is going to be all about blitzing the garden. First it's going to be about drinking some coffee. I'm pretty sleepy. I don't know why I do the videos before I have my coffee. It's like my eyes don't fully open. Anyway, here I am. So I'm going to spend this morning probably 2 or 3 hours down in the garden. I'm going to make a space for Manny the mango and cross my fingers and toes that there's no stone or concrete where I want to put him. I'm going to make a path to the water tank, and I'm going to try to make some spaces for future tap pipes. I don't exactly know where they're going to go yet, but wherever I decide, I'll just claw out all the weeds in those areas and put the taps in. So I've got a lot on this morning, and I'm anxious to get to it after I drink my coffee, of course. But before I do, I had a rare moment of forward thinking last night, and I prepared a material so it'll be easier to use today. Let me show you what I'm talking about. These black hose pipes are an absolute nightmare to use, especially if you're just one person. They want to stay in their bendy form, and since I want to use it in a straight form, I decided that I would unfurl it last night. And this is going to leave me with at least a small length of pipe that I can use while it's straight. So this is just going to make my life a lot easier later on. In theory, when I pop this out of here, it should stay more or less the shape it is now. Yeah, so that's reasonable. I might actually unfurl a little bit more because I'm not going to be using this stuff until the afternoon. But first, I'm going to drink some coffee, and then we're going to go down to the garden and obliterate a whole bunch of weeds. Let's weed. brutal. Water break, and then back to the obliteration after that. Water has been drunk, snacks have been eaten, I feel good. My goal before lunch is to liberate this hose here from the lilies and clear the weeds all along here so that I can actually get to the other side of this thing. That seems like a reasonable task. Let's get back to it. Okay, the hose has been found and freed. This grass is insanely thick. So I'm gonna carry on with this for a little while, tidy everything up a bit. I'm also gonna weed over there where I want the mango tree to go. And as I eat my lunch, I will contemplate where I want to put these taps. I'm not exactly sure, so I've got some thinking to do. But I think I have about another half hour, 45 minutes left of energy reserves. So I'm gonna continue on weeding, and I'll check in again once I have, hopefully, a much nicer, less weedy garden. I've been working really hard out there in the garden. I'm super tired, super hot, super sweaty, and really itchy. The weeds, they're itchy, everything's itchy, there's bugs everywhere. I've made a very, very important discovery though when I was digging around the area where I want to put the mango tree, and possibly a second discovery if it's still there. So let's go take a look at what I've been doing over by the mango tree and possibly say hello to a little friend. I've probably moved about 10 of these wheelbarrows filled like that. It's been a lot of work. So discovery number one is this guy. I don't know if you can see him, but there's a gigantic toad in that hole. A toad in the hole. He's just kind of chilling there. Probably stressed him out by hacking away at the soil around him, but anyway, hopefully he's okay. And the second important discovery is this pipe. This is the pipe that plumbs the rest of the land from the water cistern up by the lemon tree. And you can see that it's quite wet down here, so there's definitely a leak, and that might help me solve the problem of my water tank draining when I leave it unplugged. I also discovered this massive hunk of concrete. I was afraid this concrete went over the entire pipe and went over the whole area of where I wanted to bury the mango tree. I mean, not bury the mango tree. Plant the mango tree. I don't want to bury Manny. I want to plant him. And here, there's a little bit of concrete over this pipe. I don't know why checking concrete over a pipe seems like a good idea to stop a leak, but there you go. So it looks like I can hopefully dig out the pipe and replace it with a section. I just need to figure out how thick the pipe is. So I'm going to be excavating that a little bit. I'm going to try to get the concrete off of this little bit here and see what's up. And then my hope is to plant the mango tree somewhere around here. So missing the pipe. I think if I put it here, it gives me a nice kind of protected area. It doesn't have a high stone wall there, but I could definitely build it up higher. And yeah, nice and sheltered. And the most important thing, I think, is that it gets almost full sun. I'll probably prune this tree back a bit, but the sun kind of comes up over here and then sets over there. So this spot will be incredibly sunny, and I think that's what mango's like. I probably would have preferred to plant Manny the mango down on my bottom terrace, right next to a gigantic stone wall, but that doesn't get enough sun. I think it's in shade for quite a bit of the day until the sun kind of comes over the top of the wall. So I'm choosing sunny over rock wall, and hopefully it's the right choice. So I'm not gonna dig this hole just now. It's way too hot out here. Instead, we're gonna go back to the show and tell table And I'm gonna show you a product that I got from a company called All Power that's gonna come in incredibly handy, especially in the winter months. All Powers is the name of the company, and they sent me this nifty little portable power station. So here's the details here: lithium ion battery, capacity, something I don't understand. But what I do understand is that it's small, 1.4 kilos, and it's gonna come in incredibly handy. I could have absolutely used something like this last winter when we had about 6 to 8 weeks or something of fairly solid rain. I don't have a generator, I don't have a petrol generator, and I was pretty screwed. I have a solar backup battery thing, and I was taking that up to my friend's place to charge it when things got really dire, but it wasn't really enough. And something like this is going to be great because I can charge my laptop, which I obviously use all the time when I'm doing video stuff, and I can charge my Makita tool batteries. I think we're going to test that out a little later, independent of my system. And even more excitingly and independent is the fact that they also sent me some solar panels. I know nothing about solar panels, so I'm excited to get these out and set up and charging. This is great. I'm really happy to have this because it means that I can charge this guy independently of my home system. So the backup generator thing that I have, in order to use that, I have to basically charge it on my home system, thus taking the rare power away from my house and putting it into that as a backup. So it kind of defeats the purpose. Having this as an alternative is just going to take away that extra demand and save power for me on those gloomy weeks of the winter. Plus, the thing that I love the most about this is how portable it is. I haven't actually opened it yet, so let's take a look. But it's the smallest in their range, and it's what I wanted. I feel like I already have the big backup generator thing. It serves its purpose, but something like this is perfect. I love going to cafes and restaurants and stuff with my laptop. I haven't done it so much in Portugal, but it's something I love to do when I'm traveling. So being able to have this with me, it's super small, super portable. It'll allow me to charge my laptop anywhere I decide to go, and I don't have to always be hunting for PowerPoints, which is often sad. You go to a great place, your laptop is low on charge, and there's either no PowerPoints or they're all taken. So this gives me PowerPoint freedom. So this is super slick looking. It's fairly light, but really robust feeling as well. And you can see it's got these two regular USB charge cables in the front. It's got a USB-C cable on the side, and DC, and some other buttons. I don't know what they're for. And then this is going to be the European PowerPoint plug. I'm already a fan. It feels really good. And then it comes with the usual cables. This will be to just charge it from the home system that I have. Let's check out the solar panels. I've never owned portable solar panels. I've never hooked anything up to solar panels before. I don't know anything about solar panels. This is going to be a bit of a learning curve for me, but I imagine it's just a case of plug and play, I hope. How cool is that? Comes in its little case. It's got Velcro things happening. So this is a kickstand. So you can stick it out there in the elements, and then this little bit comes out to hold it up. And then it's got its own little storage area with all the cords and stuff. When you're living off grid and you find yourself in the midst of 6 or more weeks of rain, fairly solidly like we did last winter, every solar panel you can get is going to be amazing. One thing that's really cool about this is that a unit like this, hooked up to the solar panels, is perfect for, let's say, my friend Sancha, who's buying the land next to mine down the hill. It has a little wooden cabin on it, but there's no power set up there. So I can loan her this thing, and that will allow her to keep the lights on. It'll allow her to have her computer going, and probably a few other small things as well. Plus she can hook it up to the solar panels and just have a whole independent unit down there in her little cabin. She doesn't have to keep charging this up using the mains. The portability of these panels is really cool as well. I could see myself taking it camping, to festivals, things like that. So yeah, I'm impressed. It all feels super sturdy, and I'm excited to figure out how to actually make this, charge this. I think it's actually quite late in the day. 4:24. The sun is out, the sun is raging. Let's set this up and see how much charge I can get on it as the sun kind of gets lower. Probably can't see it on the camera, but it's bringing in 77 watts. It's 73% charged already, and I'll be curious to see how long this takes to charge. So I'm gonna keep checking on it and report back. I feel the same as you. It's still too hot to work, so I might just take it easy. Why are you all sticky? Where have you been? What on earth have you been into? Spider webs? Something else? You're pretty gross. I kind of feel the same way there too. Pretty gross. I think Mikey has the right idea chilling out in the shade, and I was actually going to call it quits on work for the night, but I really am curious about whether I'm going to be able to put the mango tree in the place that I want to or not. And I feel like I'll have a sleepless night if I don't at least try to dig this hole and find out for sure, because if I can't put it there, I'm gonna have to come up with some other plan. And oh, hello, now you're up there. What is it? How's it going? Why are you sticky? That's a pretty good spot. Anyway, I really want to see about whether the mango tree is going to be going in that spot or if I'm going to have to think of something else. So, hey. So I'm going to wait for it to get a little cooler. 5 o'clock in the afternoon is usually the hottest part of the day. I'm going to wait for it to cool down, and then I'm going to go dig a hole, I guess. And hopefully, fingers and toes crossed, I can put Manny the mango in that spot, because I don't have a whole lot of other options. I have one other place that might work, but I anticipate a rock there as well. That's cuteness overload. So we're at 99%. It's bringing in 93 watts. It's around 5:30 out there. I'm impatient, so I'm going to unplug this and see if it'll charge my Makita battery. Makita battery at 1%. It's all plugged in. It's powered up, and I think I have to push this AC out button. So the internet tells me that Makita chargers take 240 watts, and this thing is 200 watts. So it's not going to cut it for that. However, I had my GoPro charging on this, and I've got my phone charging. It'll do my laptop. This is going to come in incredibly handy, especially in the winter, but mainly for its portability. I'm going to get a lot of use out of this little guy and the solar panels as well. So thanks very much, All Powers, for sending me this really cool piece of kit. And if you're interested in knowing more, you can check out the links down in my description. There's a discount code and links to these products as well. So it's much cooler now. It's about 6 p.m. This little dude, though, is still lazing around up here, living his best life. Okay, I can't hang out. I've got to get some work done while the sun shines. So I'll see you later. Bye. Actually, I'm gonna do this little job first because though I want to be positive about this mango tree hole, I have a bad feeling that it's gonna be a lot of work. So I'm gonna have a little win and fill in this trench that I made so I don't trip over it every time I walk past. Amazing. I do love a job that takes less than 2 minutes. Now to the hole. So I'm thinking somewhere around here. The pipe is there and it runs just in front of the wall. I don't know how close to the wall it should be. I actually put down a whole bunch of gravel here that I'll have to dig through and move because I had an IBC tank here for a while and I like to set them on gravel, so that's annoying. Yeah, extra element of annoyingness that I wasn't factoring for. So let me try here, see what it looks like. I might actually get the iron bar and give it a poke, but first I'll try to clear away some of this gravel. Wish me luck. This is really hard. It's pretty sucky that I have to move a whole bunch of gravel away before I can even start digging. I think I'm gonna get the iron bar and maybe I'll have better luck with that. So I did a little bit more work scraping this gravel around and I decided I'd try to wet the ground. I don't know if I've just succeeded in making a swampy mess or if it's gonna soften it up a little bit. Got the rock bar. Let's give it a poke and hopefully I don't hear any rocky noises. So this looks pretty positive. I haven't heard any clinking of stone, but I'm exhausted. I'm gonna find out tomorrow whether this is the spot. And I'm gonna call it a night on work, and I'll see you guys in the morning for some more hole digging fun and finally some tap assembly as well. For sure. Surely tomorrow I'll get it done. But I think this is the spot. Good morning. It's a beautiful day, but I have to admit I'm starting the day a little bit apprehensive. Yesterday, after I quit working, I rested for a bit. The weather was amazing, and I went back down to the garden and I pushed on, but I created a problem for myself. I created a leak in the pipe. I dug the hole. We'll go check that out now to see if I was successful. And I also started excavating around the pipe that I found because I'll need to solve the leaking problem. But in doing so, I made the leak even worse. And then I decided, okay, that's cool, I'll go plug my water tank. But I couldn't find the water tank plug. So then I had to pump water just in case the entire tank was gonna drain out overnight. But I hadn't assembled the pump pipes yet, so I had to assemble those. So I ended up doing a whole bunch of work yesterday that wasn't planned. I was super tired and it was a little bit frustrating. I still haven't looked at the cistern to see what's up with the water tank and what the water level's like, so we'll take a look at that in a second. But first I want to check out this leak. I did a horrible repair job with inappropriate tape. It's still leaking. I don't know if there's a massive puddle there. I have no idea. This is positive. Definitely not as bad as I was expecting it to be. Yesterday, the water was spraying out all over the place, and obviously this tape is not the right tool for the job. So I was kind of expecting a massive swamp down here, but it looks like my MacGyver tape situation has done the trick. So I am very pleased with that and very surprised. Let's go check out the mango hole, which is another surprise. I hit rocks everywhere I go when I try to plant trees. And this hole right here, it is a fine hole. There are no rocks. And I'm gonna put Manny the mango in here this morning, and hopefully he thrives. One thing that's pretty cool, at least cool to me, is that it looks like I found some hunks of really nice gray clay. So I don't know, maybe I'll try to dry this out in the sun and bash it up and see what it looks like, but that's really neat. It was just a small sort of seam in the hole, so I'm not worried that this is going to be a clay-filled hole where the water won't drain, but I always love to find clay, and it's really nice to know that there's different colors like this around. So far, all I found is red and brown. So all in all, it's been a very positive start to my morning. I wasn't sure what I was going to find down there. I imagine the water tank is still full, but let's just go double check. I hope it is, because I don't really want to spend my morning fixing a pipe. I don't think I have the stuff. I don't really know what to do. Okay, it's all good. The tank is still full. The leak hasn't drained the tank out, and I can focus, instead of on the pipes, I can focus on planting the tree and finally doing these taps. So let's get into that. We'll start with Manny. Oh no, Manny! He's fallen over. I'm sorry I did that to you. You're not meant to be in this little pot. Let's get you into your new house. You're not meant to be in this tiny house. Let's upgrade your living situation. So first I'll start with soaking the roots for a while in a bucket of water. So this tap wasn't exactly installed very well. I could probably take it off, add more Teflon, and then be able to stop it on the previous turn so that it's facing down. But for now, it's fine. I just have to aim well. In here I have a mix of compost from my compost bin, soil from the hole, and horse poo from the store. And then in the hole I've poured a bucket of water. The idea being that I want to see how quickly or slowly this drains. I don't think I want to put the mango tree in poorly draining soil. So if I come back in 10 minutes and this puddle is still here, it might not be the best spot. But in reality, I'm probably going to put it in here anyways. I'm also not sure about the sunlight. It's about 11 in the morning and the sun is just coming over the olive tree now. I do need to give this massive olive tree a bit of a prune, so I'll focus on taking some off in the parts that are shading Mr. Mango. So it's not the sunniest of spots, but I think it'll be fine, because once the sun comes around this way, it'll just be beating down on this tree. And I think Manny the Mango will like that. So it looks like this is fairly well-draining soil. That didn't take long at all to drain out. So I'll fill the hole with this and put the tree in the hole. Too heavy. Not even close to being straight, but I haven't had lunch yet and I'm very hungry. So he's in the hole. I'm going to come back after lunch and refine this situation. Yeah? What do you think? What do you think of this new guy? Don't drink that. It's pretty gross. I said don't drink it. I said don't drink it. I'm back from lunch and I've had dinner as well. It's much later in the day and I basically did a whole bunch of stuff off camera, ran some errands in town, and I'm ready to finish off the taps, finally. But first, let me show you what I've been up to. So let's start here. I added this T-junction so I can steer the water in this direction. I've decided I want my first new tap to go over there, and the water still continues on in this direction to the old tap. I've done loads and loads of work in this area, removing grass and weeds and all kinds of crazy stuff. Discovered some comfrey, I've discovered some what I think are raspberries, and I've run the pipe in the back of the bed just over the dirt. I might bury it a little bit or I might just leave it like that. I haven't decided. And what I have decided is the first tap is going to go here in the corner. So I need to bash a post in, one of these guys, with the spiky bit at the end. It's actually a fence post, but I'm going to use it as a tap holder. So for the moment, I'll get it in the ground, attach the other tap, and probably just zip line it on for now. So I'll get to this in a minute, but first, let's take a look at Manny. I've staked him. He's a lot straighter than he was before. However, he does have this sort of weird bend in his trunk. So that's slightly strange. And I've added some comfrey into the base. I had some comfrey up at the top, which was just in a really stupid place. It was hard to water. It was looking really neglected. So I decided to take it out and move it down here. There's another one in there. Doesn't look so happy, but let's see if it survives. I wanted to plant it close to the trunk as a weed suppressor. That's what the internet said to do. And the internet also told me that mangoes like comfrey. Not only does it bring nutrients up from deep in the soil, it also grows quite big, keeps the weeds down, and you can chop the leaves off and just use it as a mulch right around the tree. So it's a really great plant. I love it. I want to grow more. And so let's just take a look at this leaky plumbing. It hasn't created a massive lake, so that's a good sign, and my water tank still has water in it. So nothing to worry about there, at least not yet. So let's get this tap installed, check the whole system for leaks, and then I'm gonna hook up this soaker hose thing and see how that works. Hello? Okay, tap off, and then let's go turn the tap on up at the top and check for leaks. Moment of truth. Oops. No leaks here. No leaks here. I'll reassemble this tap once I decide where it's going to go. No leaks there. No leaks there. Ah! Water. Amazing. Okay, let's hook up the soaker hose. All right, here we go. So it seems to be leaking out of there, but it also seems to be leaking out of here. See all those little droplets down there? That's really cool. So obviously this is a problem. I don't know what's up with that. Oh yeah, it's definitely leaking out of there. Is it defective? I really don't know. Anyway, this needs more attention, but check this out. That's really cool. All those little droplets. If I can get this part sealed off, then this part is doing exactly what I was hoping it would do. Very cool. Oh, wait. There's a washer here. What do you think? I put the washer on. Do you think it's gonna work? Are you a betting man? I'm 50-50. Let's check it out. All right, let's see. Nope. Seems to be a problem down here. I really don't know. Anyway, happy with this part, deeply unhappy with this part, but I'll find a solution. I found a solution. I doubled up on the washers. So this wasn't able to tighten all the way because the plastic was hitting the middle. So I put a couple of washers in there and it seemed to solve my problem. And now look at all this glorious, glorious water oozing through this super cool pipe. I just think this thing is so cool. So I guess what you'd want to do would be get a length of hose, a regular hose, bring it down to wherever you want to start the irrigation, and then hook it up from there. But this is all I have right now, and yeah, it's just really, really neat. I wasn't sure if it would work because I don't have a lot of water pressure coming from up there. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased. I've been working pretty hard for the past 3 days in this garden. I've seen a massive difference. I'm really happy with it, happy with how it's going. I'm very happy with this hose. I'm very happy with Manny the mango, happy with the lime tree. So much happiness. I'm really excited to have my hands back in the soil, and I can't wait for my mom to get here next week to help me in the garden. We're gonna put all kinds of plant toddlers in the ground, and that's gonna be lots of fun. So that's all from this video. It's been a lot of garden stuff, but I hope you found it interesting. If you have any questions or just want to say hello, please leave a comment. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.